Can you actually trust AI summaries? I've been building a book summary business for more than 10 years. So when AI appeared, I was one of the first to try summarizing books with it. At first, I was impressed until I looked closely at what it wrote and realized not just how much of it was missing, but worse, how much of it was just wrong. So the short answer, you cannot rely on AI for your summaries. But after testing hundreds of AI prompts and tools, I found a better way of creating something helpful and accurate with AI without losing control. In this video, we'll look at the problems to look out for when you use AI to summarize books, and how to use a specific 5-step framework to improve your notes and learning. Let's get into it. I started exploring machine learning options more than 10 years ago, way before ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude were available. AI has improved a lot over the months and years, and it will get a lot better. But for now, here are some of the most common problems to look out for if you're using AI to do summaries of any sort, especially for long-form books. It misses out large chunks of content or gets the details wrong. It invents quotes and even the author. It sounds confident even when it's totally wrong, or it even lies to you outright. It cannot handle long books, and yet when you split the content, it forgets the earlier parts, and it's inconsistent. You can use the exact same prompt and materials, but get a totally different answer each time. Let's look at a few examples. When we asked AI to extract verbatim quotes from the Art of Learning ebook, it got some right, like what we see here, but others were changed or combined into its own words. Worse, some were completely invented. In the Chim paradox, it even dreamed up a new meaning for an acronym that was completely different from what was in the book. So why does it happen? And will any of these problems go away as AI capabilities improve? To answer these questions, you must first understand how generative AI works. Large language models, or LLMs, don't read or think like humans. They are designed to predict words, not interpret meaning. They were trained on massive amounts of human written data, like books, articles, and code, so they have learned the patterns of how words and ideas usually connect. When you type a prompt, the LLM doesn't search for the right answer from a database. It simply predicts the most likely combination of words that will satisfy you. Even if it says, "I'm sorry," it's not feeling remorse. Or in this case, it can apologize for inventing content and then go on to invent even more content. It's just generating the statistically most appropriate response for that context. In short, you cannot rely on AI alone for an accurate summary. In other words, generative AI works by predicting the most plausible answer to your question. It doesn't really know what is true or false, what's accurate or not. And it doesn't think or feel like us, even though it's very good at using words to evoke emotions. So, unless we fundamentally change how AI works, it will always hallucinate. And the scary part is, it can sound very confident and convincing, even when it's giving you wrong facts and invented content. So if you want a quick overview, say to find out what a book is roughly about, then by all means use AI. But if you want to learn from a book, or use it for references and citations, then never fully rely on AI. In fact, the best solution is to use a hybrid approach. This is one of the biggest insights from when I read Co-Intelligence by Ethan Mollick, which talks about how to combine AI speed with human accuracy. And that brings us to the hybrid frame model. After summarizing hundreds of books, the Reading Graphics team has refined a 5-step frame model to create and learn from summaries. And recently, the team consolidated the AI insights to create an updated hybrid model with AI tips. So if you want to create summaries that are fast, accurate, and useful with AI's help, this is it. Step 1. Find your purpose. Before you even open a book, ask, what do I want to learn or use from this? Brain science shows that having a clear purpose or learning intention is like giving your brain a filter on what to notice and retain. It's your job to define your reading goals. You cannot outsource that to AI. But once you know your goal, you can use AI to clarify the learning outcomes for that goal. For example, if your goal is to improve your ability to focus in a distracted world, don't just tell AI to summarize stolen focus for me. Try something like this instead. I'm reading stolen focus to help me manage digital distractions and improve sustained focus. Based on that goal, what are 5 to 7 learning outcomes or practical skills I should focus on developing from this book? Then, review the list and decide which outcomes matter most to you. Step 2. Read and record actively. To grasp and retain ideas, it's crucial to think while you read. Mark key ideas using the FACE method. Annotate specific lines with a corresponding letter. F for frameworks, A for answers, C for challenges, and E for examples. We explained this in detail in our earlier video. AI cannot do that thinking for you, but it can help you to cross-check your notes or highlight relationships that you might have missed. You can ask it to critique your phase notes, clarify concepts you're unsure about, or map connections across phase elements. Here's an example of how you can phrase this prompt. Remember, AI works best when you consult it in small sections, not the entire book at once. Step 3. Arrange by structure. Once you've gathered your notes, it's time to organize them into a logical flow. Cognitive psychologists call this schema construction, building a mental map that connects new information to what you already know. And here's where most people misuse AI. If you dump all your messy notes and say, organize this for me, AI will just give you a generic summary of your summary because it lacks your intent and context. It works far better when you decide on the skeleton first, then invite AI to fill the gaps within that structure. And within graphics, we use 3 default structures that cover most non-fiction books: sequential, thematic, and hybrid. We explain each structure in detail in our earlier video on organizing book notes. Choose your structure, then use AI to improve clarity and logic within and between sections, fill in the specific details, or polish phrasing without breaking the flow. Step 4. Make it simple. Now that you have the structure, simplify without losing meaning. The best summaries capture ideas at 3 levels: macro, the core idea; meso, the key pillars; and micro, supporting examples or evidence. AI can help by crafting the first cut or refining your final version. Try a prompt like this to define each level so AI has some context about the 3 layers. The key is to give it clear boundaries, share context on the 3 M's, and the tone that you prefer. Ideally, share some examples from your favorite summaries or give AI a template for consistency. Step 5. Extend and expand. Finally, turn insights into action using the 3R cycle. Review what you've learned, reinforce through real-life application, and refine your notes for better accuracy. Since AI is designed to combine words and ideas from vast sources, this is where it really shines. Once you've captured the key ideas, ask it to help you reflect, practice, or experiment with what you've learned. You could try asking it to generate 5 reflection questions, design a 7-day action plan, or suggest ways to combine the concepts with ideas from other books. Try this frame method the next time you read or make notes with AI's help, and share in the comments so we know how it goes. Ultimately, AI can speed up and deepen your learning, but it cannot think for you. This hybrid approach helps you to avoid the common problems that we saw earlier and start treating AI as a real learning partner to improve your thinking without replacing it. Again, if you want more details about how AI works and how to leverage on their strengths without tripping over their weaknesses, I strongly recommend Code Intelligence by Ethan Mollick. You can get the link for the book and other free summaries in the description. See you again soon, and let's keep growing together.